What's up, everyone? All right, so here I am trading on the road again. 2 laptops, 2 USB monitors. That's all I need. This right here is a traveling ATM. Today it put out 160 bucks. Not the biggest winner, but you know what? Hey, green is good. The last couple days have been incredible. 14,000 on Wednesday, 7,500 yesterday, over $20,000 of profit on the month of May. It's only 3 days in. And what I kind of been saying here is that some days the market's hot, it's time to be aggressive, pedal to the metal. And other days the market's a little slow, it's a little choppy, and you know, if the best thing you can do is have a small loss or even a small profit, that's fine. Just live to trade another day. I know it's hard because we all have our daily goals, we have our weekly goals, and sometimes you're gonna hit your entire monthly goal in the period of 3 or 4 days, and it'll be the end of the month. But what's important is that when the market's not hot, that you're not being overly aggressive trying to achieve a daily goal that is not realistic for that day. You know, you have to keep that in mind. What is realistic to get from the market on this particular day? I might have a goal of $5,000 or $10,000, but if the market's not going to give it, it's not going to give it. So you got to just adjust the goal and adapt the strategy. And one of the big things there is being able to ease off the throttle when the market's slow and then pedal to the metal when things are hot. Things were super hot on Wednesday and Thursday. Today things slowed down, so I eased back, reduced the share size, reduced risk, $160 of profit. Hey, that's fine with me. All right, so I'll be back at it first thing on Monday morning, back in the office. As always, any questions, comments on today's recap, leave them below, and I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Okay, everyone. So we're going to do our midday market recap. Kind of a uneventful day here in the sense that I'm going to finish up only about $160. Really just didn't have a whole lot of follow through. These were the 2 stocks I traded, RHE and RBZ. RHE I actually was up about $1,000 on, and I gave back that profit trying to scalp what I thought was going to be a break at the pre-market highs. So we can look at this one first. This one was our leading gapper this morning, but of course the problem with it was that by the time the bell was ringing, it was already up. It was up 95%, and at that time of the morning, let's look at. You can just look at 9:25 a.m. By 9:25 a.m., it already had 2.1 million shares of volume. So it was fairly crowded, and it was, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the issue more was that it had already made a big move, and it had already dropped quite a bit on these 2 occasions. So as the bell rang here, I took my first scalp, jumping in right about here at 490. And then selling 492, and then selling on the move up to 511, and on that move right there, I made about $1,100, which was not bad. I got out. I then got back in right here as it broke over the high of day, and this was a little aggressive. I got in this with 9,000 shares, thinking it was definitely going to hit the pre-market high. It hit a high of 25. It then dropped down to 501, and I was like, uh-oh. If this breaks 5, I mean, there's a chance it's going to flush all the way back down, so I stopped out. And I actually was down about $150. So I gave back the whole thing. Of my whole profit on the first trade, I gave back on the second trade. And then I got back in right here at 518, thinking that now that it popped back up, it was going to hold. It hits 530, and I sold that for, $400 of profit. 450 got me out of the red and back into the green, but only by $360. And then I was like, okay, let's slow down for a second because I don't want to be red today. And another 9,000 share position on this one that goes the wrong way could put me down $3,600. So let's slow down. So I slowed down. I didn't take this setup here, which was a false breakout. It then broke the VWAP, and then it never gave another opportunity, and that was it. So unfortunately, this stock, the majority of the move to the long side was pre-market at like 7 in the morning. And of course I don't trade pre-market, so I missed that opportunity. And then once the bell rang, more of the volatility has been to the sell side. But of course, no shares available to borrow, and so, I wouldn't have been able to trade it even if I'd wanted to. So, that's the way it goes. Sometimes they're just up too much pre-market, and then they don't hold the move. And the reality is the catalyst was not a particularly strong one at all to me. I mean, I looked at it, and they got approved for, looked like a $4 or $5 million loan. Not really sure. I just wasn't totally clear why that was such a strong catalyst. But in any case, yeah, so up 310 on that. The watch list, we also had ARCI on watch. This one, the volume was too light. It was a nice daily setup, kind of opening up here potentially, but it did not give me an entry point. So no trades on that one. We also had DFFN on watch from yesterday. No trades on that one either. It didn't end up looking good. By the time the bell rang, it had already been stair-stepping down way too much. Back in this area, it was looking okay. Maybe a retest of the pre-market or of the after-hours highs from yesterday, but it had sold off and it was below the 200 on the daily, so that one was out of play. TAIT from yesterday was definitely out of play. That ended up being a big red candle on the daily, almost a bearish engulfing candle. RBZ was the next one that I traded. I took a 6,000 share position on this for the break over $8, which was right about here. So as it curled up here, I jumped in. It actually hit $8 and then dropped all the way back down to a 767. So I got in as it was coming up. It hit 8, and I could see buyers, but I could also clearly see there was a seller on the ask that was not moving. And I gave it a second, and then when it didn't break, I just, boom, bailed out and got back out for a small loss, $150. So today's the day we're going to be up 160. This is, for me, pretty much a flat day. It's a break-even day. I did not get the daily goal of, $2,000, but I'm still up more than 20,000 on the week and now on the month of May, which is fantastic. So the really important thing, and I emphasized this yesterday, or tried to during the recap, there will be days where the market is really, really hot, like it was on Wednesday and like it was on Thursday, and those are the days to keep trading, for me, past 10:30 to go straight to 11, to keep trying to find opportunities. And then there are going to be days like today where there's really nothing that's opening up. Things aren't working. And traders are starting to just leave the market. People are like, you know what, it's Friday. This is a waste of my time. I'm just going to lose money if I keep trading. And so more and more traders are going to start to leave. And then let's say at 11:30, something pops up on the scanner that has good news and actually is a really valid setup. Well, unfortunately, by that time, since 50% or 70% of the day traders out there have already left the market, there aren't going to be people there to press the buy button, which is what would create the volume and help fuel a breakout. So you kind of have to think about, well, what are other traders doing today? Is this a Friday? Are they more likely to leave early? Is this the beginning of a long weekend? It's not today, but if it were, that would be another really big important factor to keep in your mind, because when you're trading in the market, you're not just trading against computers and algorithms. I mean, you might be at times, but a lot of times you are trading with and against other actual traders. So if you're trading pre-market or you're trading after hours when there aren't a lot of other traders, often you'll see that the stocks are much more erratic. They can have bigger spreads. They are just more difficult to trade. And that's also true at 1 in the afternoon on a Friday when a lot of the traders have already left for the day. So our European traders, who we've got a ton of here, the market opens at 3:30 in the afternoon for most of you guys. So by the time it's 4 o'clock in 4 in the afternoon here and the market's closing, it's 10 o'clock in Europe. A lot of people have already long since thrown in the towel. They're not going to trade till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Some people will, but most won't. And so you just kind of have to think about that sort of mindset. When are there the most traders in the market? Because that's when you're going to see peak volatility, and that's always the first hour, and then it sometimes picks up again, at the last hour as some of the international countries are starting to come online, for their morning. But you look at the S&P 500. Typically, peak volume is going to be in the morning, and then afternoon it lightens up. The last couple of days, actually, we've had kind of volatility midday there. Back at the evening, this is a day where we had a sell-off going into the close. But the typical day, minus these kind of like big after-hour spikes, is volume in the morning and then decreasing as you get further into the day. That's more of a typical pattern right there. I think that these after-hours trades here, I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but in any case, it's certainly true with the small cap market. So I do have some live trades from yesterday that I will upload. I wasn't recording today. I'm on my traveling trading station. I'm on the road. But I do have trades from yesterday. I wasn't recording on Wednesday, and I wasn't recording on Monday and Tuesday. The market was kind of slow, today you probably wouldn't have missed much anyways. But yeah, so I do have a couple that will go up there for live trading archives for students. So anyways, coming to the end here of a really great week, but not a big, fireworks kind of blowout, and, in either a bad way or a good way, just a kind of, non-event type of day. A couple good stocks on the scanners, but didn't really materialize for traders who focus on trading the long side. Some of you guys who trade the short side may have had some better opportunities if you had shares available to borrow, but that's okay. Right now, I'm just happy to be off to a great start for the month of May, up $20,000, 50% to the monthly goal. And today was just a day where I stepped up. I didn't connect, and so I'm not going to force it. I'll just take the break-even day, which is essentially what this will be, and live to trade another day. Be back at it on Monday. If I don't have the chance to hit my daily goal, $2,000 to $4,000 or $5,000, then there's kind of no point in trading, because on days when the market is hot, like yesterday, I can make $7,500 or $14,000 like the day before. And when the market's not hot, doesn't matter how much you trade, you're just not going to find those big moves. So best strategy is just to step back and hold your hands. And it could be hard to do that, but it's the right thing to do. So I wish you guys luck if you do end up keeping at it here this afternoon, but probably I really don't know what you'll get out of it. So most likely you guys will probably just end up shutting it down here pretty soon, and I will see you all back at it first thing on Monday. And remember, the new chat room for small cap students is launching on Tuesday. So those of you who are verified 100K Club members, you can send over a copy of a broker statement. We'll verify you, and then you'll get that badge on your name in the new software. All right, everyone. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.